If you remove money from the table, it's much easier to challenge people.
I'm going to take it back sort of to a foundational level. There might be some people watching that when we talk about customer success, they don't necessarily know what that is. Can you try and break it down to us in the simplest way possible? When we talk about customer success in a company, what do we mean?
Yeah. So most people will understand what the notion of an account manager is, right? There's someone that holds your account. They say, oh, you're about to have to come up on either the end of your term, right? If you're on a subscription base and we need you to renew, or we haven't sold to you in a while. It's time to sell to you again. And we want to make sure. So that account manager is really responsible for the revenue side. The problem is with our economy today and with Google in our pockets, right? We have too many options as a customer. So if I'm not using your product, I'm not renewing with your product, right? It doesn't matter how much I like you as the person on the other end. If my company isn't getting value out of your product, right, I can't renew. Now, the account manager, though, is faced with a conundrum, because how do they act like a coach if they're supposed to get you to buy more, right? So they're stuck in this, well, let me give you these best practices and tell you, but everything always inevitably leads back to how do you buy more from me, right? So how can I be a trusted advisor and give you advice if all of my advice points to just buy more from me? So the customer success manager, especially as the subscription economy started to grow, and it started in the low-hanging fruit of the SaaS world, because we were already on subscription base, right? And is now getting adopted by every other vertical that exists. You have Disney taking on subscription modeling, right? You have GE. Look at Rolls-Royce and the engines they provide for jet fighter pilots, right? Or for jet fighter planes. They used to sell you an engine and that was it. And then you need a new engine, they'd sell you another, the perpetual sale. Now they don't sell you the engine. They lease you the engine with a service plan, right? So you get it leased and it comes with all of the services and accounts and the analytics and the data on how it's being used, which then feeds back into their information. So they know they're creating better and better products, right? And that they're getting the engagement. Take out of that role, the same with our products or software, the customer success manager's goal, like a coach, is to make sure that you are getting as much value out of the product as possible. Their goal is not to sell you more, although some companies have them set up that way. Their goal is to get you. Now, if they expose along the way areas where they can sell more, that's great, but that isn't their primary focus. Their focus is making you an expert, making you an MVP over there that's getting a raise, because you getting a raise means you have more buying power, right? You getting a raise, or if you have to leave your company and you go somewhere else, you now have this skill set you can bring with you, right? So if you leave MindTouch, guess what? One of the first things you're going to do at a new company is, why are we using this system? There's MindTouch is out there. Yeah. Or now you have actually job roles that, are you certified or are you a MindTouch user? Have you used it? Because we have the MindTouch knowledge base. So they have to hire for that specific role. So that's what the CSM does, right? They look out for your best interest, and sometimes your best interest requires challenging you. If you remove money from the table, it's much easier to challenge people, right? It's like when, think about when you go into a retail store and one of the first things the salesperson tells you, I'm not commission based, so I'm not trying to make this sale for you. I'm just trying to help you pick the best TV, right? I don't get anything more from trying to help you. That helps you put your guard down a little bit, right? In real time. Same thing with your customer success managers. And in more advanced setups, you'll see that the customer success manager is and reports up to revenue-based wise the account managers, right? And the account managers will fall sometimes under the sales team. So CS goes up to account management because they expose these opportunities. They say, hey, look, they're looking to do this service integration or this, or they need more seats, but they stay out of that conversation. They hand it off, right? So they can keep that neutral, trusted advisor position.